Hello dearies, welcome back to the Craft Kitchen. If you're new here, it's Tina from FriedaFriemel, and I thank you so much for stopping by and watching. This is what we've made so far for this year's Junk Journal July. We've already used some prompts on the list and came up with this, the cover itself, and 3 signatures. Some of them already colored, like this. And of course we're going to be needing ephemera for the journal. And for this we're using the prompt packaging and ephemeral, maybe stamps, I don't know yet. So for the base of our ephemera we're going to make a masterboard with a piece of packaging, simple packaging. In fact, I'm going to be using this side, so you can write on this side. We're making, let's see, some tags, some journaling cards. Maybe I'll use the masterboard for die cutting too. Don't know yet. First, we're preparing our masterboard with book pages. I've removed my cutting mat and decided to use another piece of packaging because this is very thin. This is where I've opened the package. And yes, you can see this, it's already see-through. And I'm going to reinforce these strips with my newspaper, with my book pages, sorry. And I've already cut off this strip from the packaging because this will make a beautiful embellishment. So now, let's take this aside. For this I'm going to be using a, in fact, 50 to 50% mixture of PVA, white glue, in this case bookbinding glue, and methyl cellulose, because this is what I've already have mixed up. My brush is the tiniest bit damp, and I'm starting here on the left, spreading the glue all over, like so. Not on the whole sheet, but about the width of your largest book page, your largest scrapbook. No, don't use scrapbook paper for this. If you have really thin packaging, of course you can use scrapbook paper, but most time this will be too heavy, too thick. So there's this one-sided scrapbook paper you could use for this. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to ink the edges a bit. I'm using pigment ink for this because dye ink will react with water. And starting to put on my pieces of book page. Let me see. I'm going to rip this off. Tearing from the larger side is always a good idea. Like this. I'm keeping the tiny snippets like these, because I might have some holes here and there. And I want to keep this because actually it's a translated song text of Edith Piaf to Turkish language. Like it. Really like it. This page is from a biography of Edith Piaf in Turkish language. I get some more ink, like so. And I'm not going to glue my pages, my pieces of my pages, all the way together, everywhere. I'm going to be leaving some gaps. Let me see what we have here. Tiny, yes, don't know what book. I think this is from a novel. Beautifully aged pages. I believe this book is from the 1940s. I don't remember. Some pages I keep for myself. Not selling all of them. Mostly the pages that are a bit ripped. Inking again and placing this somewhere here. Series, I'm using the PVA and methyl cellulose mix because this doesn't dry that fast, and I won't have to. Let me see. I won't have to re-glue this all the time. Yes. Some music sheets. Inking the tiniest bit here. I just brushed on a bit of coffee. There you go. And you see, leaving these gaps here. And now, on the next strip, I'm going to overlay a bit. Not that much, just the tiniest bit. Let's see. No, too wide. What do we have here? Italian novel. Yes, yes, yes. Might be way too big, so inking this edge, and going over the edge on top, like so. Now everything is glued down, covered with book pages, but as you can see, I've left some tiny blank spaces. We're going to cover with this. Just a napkin with a beautiful watercolor print. I'm gonna be needing some glue. This actually is just school glue, white glue, thinned, heavily thinned with water. Layer 1. Do I already have? Yes. We are just using the printed layer. Maybe you want to keep the second layer. I don't know if you can see this. Sometimes the shadow of the original print is on the second layer, and you can use this to cover boring paper in your journal. Let's see. Going to cover this strip here with a piece of the napkin. For this I'm using a narrow brush dipped in water. Just painting around the area I want to tear off with the water. And you can there remove the piece of napkin like so. I think this is too straight for my liking. Again, just brushing on some water. Maybe using a water tank brush might be easier, but I don't have any that's as narrow as this. Now just gluing this on here with my homemade Mod Podge. No, it's not Mod Podge. There's no, how do you say, there's no varnish in it. So this will not be any kind of waterproof. But it doesn't have to be waterproof. You wouldn't wash a journal, would you? Just carefully painting on here, like so. And there you go. So now brushing another layer of glue on top, like you would do with Mod Podge. Same procedure. Carefully not to rip your motif. There you go. So now you have, yeah, I'd say 2 effects. We have covered the writing with the napkin. This is shining through. And you've covered the gaps. And because I've inked the book pages, the edges of the book pages, you can see here the inked edges and the gap. In fact, I like this because to me a junk journal has nothing to do with any kind of perfection. To me this would be scrapbooking, and really I don't like scrapbooking. So what else? Of course, you can use your tear-offs and close the gaps. Looks also amazing. Just a bit here, like so. Putting on some glue. There you go. You don't have to put glue over this strip. I just don't have a dry brush to press this on. Let's see what else. There's also a strip we can close. Oh, that's too tiny. I'd say we'll take this. Where's my water brush? There it is. Again, just painting around with water and tearing it off carefully, like so. Let me see. No, I don't like the straight edge. So let's take this off. Excuse me. It's really hot. It's getting very hot right now. And I have no drink on my table. And because it was a bit cool outside, I'm still wearing my jacket. It's really getting warm. But we're nearly done. Like this. Yeah. Putting on some glue. Laying it on top. And some glue down here. Like so. Some here too. Whoop. And then gently brushing over this with another layer of glue. So now we're having the watercolor petals on top of the book page. Oh, there's a bubble I don't like. So, and we have the square I left open between these 4 pages underneath. So when I'm cutting this for journaling cards, for text, whatever, I'm going to avoid this area to be in full. I'll show you later. You can also use sewing pattern paper, this thin tissue paper, to cover the holes in there. Let me take a bit off. I've teared a piece off with writing, and I'm going to cover some of these gaps with the sewing pattern. Let me see. I'm using the same method like with the napkin, just brushing on a waterline and then tearing off like so. There, from there to there, again tearing there and tearing this off. Like so. And there. Yes. So again, my homemade Mod Podge, napkin glue, whatever you like to call it, like this. But when I say Mod Podge, everybody seems to know what I mean. Like so. Just beautiful. There you can see the writing underneath the sewing pattern, even a bit of the petal from the napkin. So now I'm going to cover the whole sheet with anything I can find, and I'll be back in a moment. I've covered everything with napkins and the tissue paper, and when the glue isn't sticky anymore, I'll put this between two boards, and these two boards again under some heavy books. Actually, since we're already packing for the room switch, I'll put this under books already packed for the moving. You can see I've not only used the napkin and the tissue paper already, also here some pieces of leftover book pages. There you can't see it yet, still has to dry. And this I thought was somehow funny. I placed a strip from a book page over here, and then I saw these words, 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Put this over this seam. Here again, a strip of a book page. And when this is dry and flat, we'll cut this to pieces and use it for our ephemera for the book. Now let's see. I've been pressing this, the masterboard, only for a few hours, like 4 or 5. This is the front, and I detected this. Like I told you, I ripped open the package and some areas were really thin, and here we have the book page, this one, the Russian book page, shining through a bit. These parts haven't been that thin. Yeah, but I like it. I really, really like it. So now, let's cut this, shall we? First, we're going to be making journaling cards from this. Let me see. I'm going to be using the back side. This is straight. Turning it over. I want to keep this intact. So now let's cut here and see what we've got. Oh yeah. I like it, I like it, I like it. Again, cutting. Let me get this straight first. At a right angle, like so. And then placing my ruler. This is actually a quilting ruler, much sturdier than a, don't know what it's called in English, geometric triangle, like architects are using. I think it's the same in German like it is, in English like it is in German. This is a bit crooked. There you go. So this, and I want this to be intact, not with the writing, so I'm making a bigger and a smaller card, cutting exactly here. This will be the first journaling card. This way or this way, I don't know yet. Here, let's cut this, the tiniest bit, so it is straight. Yes, I love it. The flower as a focus point. Then we have the top with the seam allowance. Here, this will be a bigger journaling card. I think I won't have to decorate this. Maybe this a tiny bit. Maybe some labels or colored spots here and there. I don't know yet. Beautiful. So then 2 of these. We are gonna be needing some tags. How wide do I want them to have? To be? There is the... Yeah. Here we have the edge of the music sheet, actually the guitar tabs. So let's see. This is a straight edge. Laid on here. And then cutting a smaller strip for tags. First, let me get this straight. One. Actually, down. Oh yeah, here we have the tiniest fold. You can't see it, but I can feel it, like so. And this I'm going to be using for my next cut. There, perfect. Yep. Ooh, I like this. Still has to be decorated a bit, only the tiniest bit, and this has to be decorated a bit more. Also cutting a straight edge here. Yep. Before cutting these two in the shape of tags with the triangles cut out, I'm going to decorate them and cut them out later. What else? Okay, I want to have this for a card. Just this piece with a tiny bit of this. This was the rectangle I left open between these 4 pages and just glued a napkin over. So now I'm using this straight line and the line between these 2 writings on this paper, cutting there, not all the way to the middle of the rectangle. Use this side for this. No. I will have to cut this straight first. Placing my ruler. Come on. This is way too much. I want to have more of this page. Like this. Tearing off this strip. Now I can go in and cut through the middle. Yep, of the rectangle, like so, and from the other side, so I won't have an overcut. There. Oh yes, this is really beautiful. Again, cutting it straight. Okay, my ruler just moved a bit. Isn't this nice, guys? Oh, you. This actually, I think it's a bit crooked down here. The tiniest bit. Oh, and here, dang it, just have to cut it from this side again. And there, straight. Nope. I'm using the lines on the paper to get it somehow straight sometime. I'm getting there, I promise you. So, yes, this is straight. Now giving this slightly straighter edge, like so, and all the way round. Just look at this. Beautiful. Really beautiful. Dearest, I think I'll use this as a journaling card and leave it as is. Really, really beautiful. So I'm going to be cutting here And again on the opposite side, like so. There. Don't throw this away. This actually could be a beautiful decoration for your page edge. This could be a belly band. You also could use a punch and just punch out some circles for decoration. Keep it. So this looks really crooked. I actually don't like it. So let me line up with most of the writing. Maybe. Yeah, this works too. Just cutting somewhere over here, here. Cutting here. So this is really crooked. And also this. Yeah, let's see which lining I want to use. I think this is mainly visible. Yes, I'll use the lining of the music sheet to get this straight. Just lining up my ruler here, this line on the music lines, like so. Again on the other side, I could have done this without turning it. Yes, love, yes. Like so. Straight. And now, how much do I have to take off? Let's see. Marking this with a fold. Lining up again with the music lines. Here and here. And cut. And now I have to cut this into a right angle. This could actually be a pocket or another journaling card. This isn't straight at all. What's up? This is nothing but straight. Let me take this here. No, it just, oh no, it isn't. It's 1 millimeter off. Okay. Really just 1 millimeter, but I actually can't see it. Well, this may be the curse of a designer. Yes, I've actually absolved a job training as a designer. This is more like it, yes. So now we have to take care of this. Well, which side do I want to use? I like this here on the bottom and this on the top. So I'm going to be using this lining. No, this line and this. Yep. Let's see if these are straight. They actually are. Again, lining up. Cut this straight. And this too. Yep, this is straight. And this, don't know yet. Let me see. Not really. Now, this also could be a pocket or a decoration for a page or for the journal cover. This is actually nice. Yes, I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna be cutting here, just above the music sheet, like so. And then, excuse me, 1, 2, 3. I think 3 will do. No, won't do. Putting in a bit more. Yeah. There you go. So I've used this edge again, overlapping a bit, and just cut down here. So let me see, this is not straight at all. It actually is, but this isn't straight. So I'm going to be covering this. There's another fold, but it will do. Again, cutting, and this part I definitely decorate again. This I'll just leave like it is. Beautiful. So now I wanted this part for a tag, like so, orienting on the writing for a straight line, straight cutting line, and then again cutting this, like so, and there we have another short tag. And here I think I'm going to cut this out the tiniest bit. Oh no, no. This down here, this and this strip, I want also for a journaling card. Let me see. Somewhere here, I think. Yeah. Like so. Oh yes. This is straight. Let me see. Cutting this straight too. So now I want to leave it this way. I actually like this frayed edge, this one too. Yeah, I'm going to be using my scissors and cut around the stamping roughly, and then going in with my ink again, inking everything up like so. This is a bit too much, so I'm cutting it like so. Yes, inking this. Need a bit more ink. There. And there too. And if you use this for a pocket, this isn't straight at all, you glue down beneath this thinner edge and just leave it like it is, just hanging off, and just have the middle strip for the pocket, which will actually be more than enough, like so. Oh yes, I love it. Oh no, you're a pocket. Come here. And you are a pocket too. I'm keeping this just to have a piece of our masterboard in the same design like these left for, don't know, decorating more stuff. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 tags. 1, 2, 3 journaling cards. The topper for the journal. 1 pocket, 2 pockets. Let's put this aside. And I forgot, yeah. This piece and this strip we have also left. Let's put this aside and let's start with this tag. Yeah, this is straight. Let me mark this so I can show you better. Normally I just would eyeball it like so, and here you actually can cut a tag at every angle you like, but I just marked a 45-degree angle. This here is the middle of my tag, 1 centimeter to the right, 1 centimeter to the left, and I've also did this from this edge, which is the middle on this side, 2 centimeters down, also here 2 centimeters down, because this are 2 centimeters, then this are also 2 centimeters, and you end up with a 45-degree angle. So now, without drawing a line, you actually can cut a straight line by starting at the point you want to start, and then looking, fixating your eyes on this point where you want to cut, where the direction doesn't matter. You just have to look at this point there and then cut. And this, dearies, is a perfect straight cut. I've learned this myself maybe 5 or 6 months ago, and it does work. It always works. Again, putting the scissors here, looking at the point you want to cut, and then cut. So now the perfect shape. Let me show you. Ooh. These triangles are exactly the same, like so. I'm thinking to rounding these corners a bit with my scissors. Looks somehow nicer to me. Ooh. Like so. Then I'm inking everything. Inked everything, and looking at this, I actually don't like these 45-degree angles. My angle preparation is more about 55-60 degrees. You know what? Taking my scissors and cutting a bit off here. Yeah, like this, much more. Just rounding the corners again, the tiniest bit. Here too. This. Yes. Now look at this. This is yeah, that's much better. Pretty. So now I'm going to be using a hole punch for this. Let me see if there is a marking. I have no idea how big this is because I always remove the lid so I can see through where I'm punching. I want the hole somewhere. Oh no. Oh. You know what? Front and back. Yes. These are some, let me get this out, hole reinforcement rings I've made myself. Very easy. I'll show you in another video. Or maybe this. Oh dear. I actually can't decide which one I want to use for this. No. It's not. Let me see. This is actually beautiful. Yep. And this is the last one of those. The color would be beautiful. And this, no, I'm using the black one. So now I'm going to glue this in. Where's my glue? There you are. Just using a bit of bookbinding glue, my go-to PVA glue. Come out! Ooh. Much too much glue. There. There's my rack. Hello. Now, just eyeballing this. Like so. Pressing on. And now I'm using my hole punch. Actually the same I used for the reinforcement rings. Oh. And making a hole. So now you can see the tiniest bit of the inside, just covering up, and a bit around, like so. So now let's lay this aside. We're going to be decorating this part when we've found a place for this tag to go in the journal. I'll put this over there, and I'm going to be showing you how to make the easiest journaling card ever. Again, do I want to? This wouldn't be easy. If I rounded the corners, this wouldn't be the easiest journaling card ever, right? So I'm keeping this, maybe rounding it later. I don't know yet. Inking, inking, inking. Just staining all over, like so. A bit more here maybe, and there. Somewhere. Okay. I'm gonna be needing this. I have a piece of corrugated cardboard, pulled off just the paper, this paper from one side, and painted it with Mod Podge. This was a tip I got from some lady, I don't remember her name, over a year ago. Putting on Mod Podge prevents the ink from being soaked by the cardboard, and you don't have to throw away your cardboard every single time when you use it for a line stamp. Yeah, there's a bit gold on there, but this is actually dry. This stays on because it stays on. Inking this up and turning over. I need something to protect my mat, because I will be a bit over the edge with this, and now trying to line it up somehow like this, and just rub this on. These lines will not be perfect. They'll look faded and frayed and, yeah, aged. There you go. This is really, really nice. I love it. Somewhere between dotted and line. Great. This was the easiest method. I think we're going to be decorating the top and the bottom just a tiny bit. Let me close this first. So I've pulled out some things for the decoration of the back of a journaling card. Let's see. Matches. Because I'm using this peacock feather distress ink because this actually will get kind of greenish here on this brown paper. Pulled out some homemade vintage labels, and I also got these beautiful paper vintage labels from my friend in the Netherlands in a happy mail. Thank you very much, Willeke. So let's see. We're going to be starting it actually Paris? I don't know. Yeah, I like this. Oh yeah, love it. I think I'll have to grunge this up. Let me replace it on the backing paper over here. So replacing this to here. I'm gonna be using vintage photo and peacock feathers to distress this. So, and since I've replaced and smudged my sticker with my fingers, I'm going to use a bit of glue on the back, actually a bit more, like so. There you go. Having a damp rag at hand while crafting is the best idea. And gluing this on here, removing the glue from your fingers and just press it on like so. You see? And I'm also gonna be using one of my homemade stickers down here, greenish or teal. Since we've used teal over there, we're going to be using teal on here, down here too. Let's see. Yep. Just gluing this on here. Cut it off. Don't throw away this piece because turning, and then I'm gluing this on top of the card to create some more coherence between the front and the back. We're going to be creating this coherence with the stamps anyway, but you know, I like this. So now going in with the peacock feathers stamp and this ink and this splatter stencil. For stamping, dearies, if you want to have a proper print, just put a piece of, this is very sturdy foam, underneath the area where you want to print, or simply a book. Simply use a book block, and I'm testing, yeah, just stamping on here like so, and we have these splatters. Just brushing over a bit with the vintage photo. Didn't turn out that greenish as I expected it to. Like so. There you have a bit more green, just blending out, like so, and no one will know. I think I want to have something down here. Just using a leftover piece of the napkin, gluing this down here, like so. And because I don't want this area to be shiny, I'm using my methyl cellulose mix 4% to glue this on, because this dries matte. And for paper on paper, it's perfectly fine. It won't fall off. Oh, and before I'm going to forget this again, gluing on a napkin, something like this, tissue paper, whatever, after you've stamped on your card, is only possible if you're using pigment inks. They don't react with water, they stay on paper. Some stay on any material. Let's say you've had used distress ink or oxide to make these lines. The water in the glue would have washed the lines. Yeah, I think with distress oxide this would have been a really nice effect, but I don't know if you would have ruined the image. You have to test this before you go in with any kind of liquid on the dye inks. So now letting this dry, and then I can cut this off. So we've created 3 pieces of ephemera from our masterboard in the shortest amount of time. First, a pocket, just cut it out, and we're going to be gluing this on a page. Then second, the tag. I'll decorate this when I know on which page this will go. I'd like to create some sort of cohesion between the page and the tag down here. The back is blank, so you have more writing space on here. And we've created a journaling card with lining on the back for writing space and some decorations. So if you like my content, it would really be nice of you to subscribe, click the bell, and leave a thumbs up. Perhaps a message for me too. We creators actually like this. We love it. And to all the others who already have subscribed to my channel, I'll see you for the 3rd video of this mini-series, where we are making a junk journal using the prompt list of Junk Journal July 2024. Until then, stay crafty and be excellent to each other. Bye!